NFL fans are sick and tired of the current state of trying to watch their favorite team. It's rough out there right now, isn't it? You have to have 8 million different streaming services just to watch your own team. Not even all the other teams, just your team. But Jim Jordan is coming out to figure this out for us.
A Green Bay Packers fan who lives in Dallas, Texas. Grew up in Green Bay, loves the Packers, wants to watch the Packers. Grew up in Dallas, Texas. For the 2026 season, the Packers are scheduled to play 8 games on Fox, 2 games on Amazon Prime Video, 2 games on Netflix, 2 games on NBC, 1 game on ESPN, 1 game on CBS, and 1 unscheduled game that is left to be determined by the NFL. The fan will need access to Amazon Prime Video, Netflix, NBC, and ESPN to see the 7 games scheduled for those services. For the 9 games scheduled for Fox and CBS, the fan will likely need Fox and CBS because some of the games will be on broadcast television in Dallas. The fan will also likely need Sunday Ticket just to watch some subset of the 9 Fox CBS games because the fan will not know which games will and will not be on broadcast until the NFL and relevant networks release the broadcast maps the week of the games.
Is your head spinning yet? That congressional hearing on the Sports Broadcasting Act was before the House Judiciary Committee. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, who according to Celebrity Net Worth makes $65 million each year, declined to testify. So where does this leave the consumer for this upcoming football season? Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Congressman Jim Jordan, joins me. Nice to see you, sir. And
Good to be
it's
with you,
this exemption. It's this exemption, antitrust exemption, that allows them to, you need a PhD in math from MIT to find the game, and then you need to have a trust fund or marry a billionaire to pay for it. So what's up? What are you going to do?
Well, you're right, and they have antitrust relief, and they have it from 1961, the Sports Broadcasting Act, because the argument was, and it's a valid argument, the argument was, if you negotiate individually in the marketplace, New York, Chicago, LA are going to get better deals, and it'd be tough on Cleveland, Green Bay, and Pittsburgh, who are also part of the NFL. It'd be tough on them to actually garner the revenue, have the kind of team you need to have competition and parity, and have the league. And so they came to Congress, and they got the exemption from the antitrust law. Okay, fine. And what happened in 1961 is it was given for broadcasting, which is frankly just about all we had then. But today there's streaming, there's cable, there's satellite. It's a whole different universe. And the question is, do we need to relook at
What do all of you think should happen? Leave a comment below for how you think the NFL and other sports networks should solve this problem. People still want to watch the NFL. NBA, I mean, they lost all kinds of viewership. NFL might have more viewership as well if we didn't have to have so many different services.
this? And when you think about the complexity as was described in what we said in the committee, and the cost, it probably costs $1,000 a year if you do not live in the market of your team and you want to watch your team that you grew up watching. It gets real difficult.
Well, this is something special that the taxpayers have given.
And you can't even get a TV type of service a lot of the times to watch some of these games. I know some people are complaining about that, I've heard, because they want to watch all the games, but then a Thursday night game will be on Prime or something like that.
Given the NFL over the years through Congress is something special and good for them because we like football. It's a national sport.
Sure.
However, I know it's mind-boggling to me that Roger Goodell, who doesn't even put his life at risk on the field, gets $65 million a year. So I'm not so sure why they need all this special stuff. I haven't seen anybody starving in the football industry, but I see American people who give them this special exemption taking it on the chin.
Yeah. We give them the ability to form a cartel and negotiate as a cartel. We did so back in 61 because that made sense when there was 3 networks covering, sports and television. It's a little different situation today. To add to what you just described, in 61, in constant dollars, inflation-adjusted dollars, each of the 14 teams in the NFL at that time got like $4 million. Today, each of the 32 teams gets $432 million. So they went from $4 million to $432 million.
That's insane. That's way beyond inflation, right? Inflation's been terrible, but $4 million to $423 million since the 60s, that's still way, way beyond the rates of inflation.
And 32 teams, $500 million. That's how big these contracts are. And all we're saying is let's remember the fan and see if there's some things we need to adjust here, and we'll continue to do our work.
Why didn't Roger Goodell want to show up and talk to you and explain why he thinks it's still a good idea to have this special deal for the NFL?
Great question. They're in the middle of litigation. And remember, the jury actually sided with the fans and said the NFL owes the class a lot of money, and then that was overturned on some kind of technical, the experts used in the case weren't appropriate, that the judge overturned that. So they're in litigation, and that's the main reason I think he didn't want to come, is they're in the middle of litigation. But we'll see. We'll see where we go from here.
All right.
And then the other issue is they've made a change now that's going to make it, I think, difficult on the tavern owners, the restaurant owners, and how they offer the package in their bars and restaurants, which fans, enjoy going to the restaurant and watching their team on sports there.
Yeah, I wish there were more sports bars out there where I live. There aren't really enough of them at all. The other issue, too, is like they're getting all kinds of money for these stadiums in cities. I think that's ludicrous to get taxpayer dollars, but you can hardly get away from it now because it seems to happen in every major sports, in every major sport in America now. We just are paying, the taxpayers are paying for these people's stadiums, which I think is ridiculous.
All right, we have 30 seconds left. This is random. What do you think about the Chicago Bears if they move to Indiana?
George Halas, what's George Halas going to say? I mean, George Halas.
He'd be so upset.
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense. What are we going to call them? The Indiana Bears or the Chicago Bears? So
we're going to call them the Bears. That's what we're going to call them. We're going to keep calling them what they've always been called since the good days of SNL decades ago. The Bears. The Bears.
It doesn't make sense, but I'll leave that to Pritzker and all the folks in Chicago.
Yeah, well, I don't like to admit this publicly, but with all we Packer fans hate the Bears, but George Halas, who owned the Bears, saved the Packers when they were in big money trouble.
You're the fan I described. You're the Packer fan now. You're in D.C., not in Dallas, but you're the fan I described. That could have been Greta Van Susteren. I should have put that in there. I should have read Greta Van Susteren wants to watch the Packers.
There you go. And she doesn't have that PhD in mathematics from MIT, so she can find the games.
But she's a good lawyer. She's a good lawyer and good on hosting her show. So anyway, thanks, Greta. Good to be with you.
There you go, Greta on Newsmax and Jim Jordan from Congress. Okay, thanks for watching the video this long. Please like, share, comment. It's all appreciated.